So my presentation is going to be on the original sin, the first coup in Pakistan. So I'm going to start off with a little bit of the history. Pakistan became independent from England in 1956, and in this year they established their own constitution. Their constitution did have some of the good ideas that we've talked about in class, where they had the separation of powers and the checks and balances. However, it did not work out very well for them in the first 2 years. Most of their leaders only lasted a few months, and basically there was very little success in those 2 years. And that was 1956. So in 1958, there was a general by the name of Ayub Khan, and with the help of the president, who was President Miraz, President Miraz established or initiated martial law, which is basically when the normal law is suspended and the military takes control of the country. And so when the president initiated the martial law, this gave Ayub Khan total control of the country, and some of the first things that he did was he exiled the president of the country to England, and he got rid of other opposition, and then he appointed basically other military leaders into the government. So it was a coup. It was a bloodless coup, which I guess is good if you're going to have one. Now, when many people think of Ayub Khan, some think he did good things, and other people think he did bad things. So we're going to go over some of the pros and cons. The initial reaction to the coup was actually a positive reaction. So some of the reasons why, as we talked about in the first 2 years, there just wasn't a lot of stability, and what this caused was the people of Pakistan basically lost a lot of their confidence in their country and in the people, basically their leaders. And so when Ayub Khan took control of the country, lots of the people liked this because it was stability. They weren't changing powers every month, and it showed that one man did have enough power and control to take over and rule the country. There were good things that he did economically, and the U.S. supported him and gave financial aid to him. And so he wasn't terrible in all aspects. However, some of the cons, there are a lot of cons that we just don't have time to go over, but the main ones is basically he just set a bad precedence. He showed that whoever has control of the army really can take control of the country if they want to, and anyone who gets that type of power usually doesn't want to give it up. And so these were the main things. I mean, although there's not a ton listed here, these have impacted the country in a negative way for many years. And so what I would say to sum it up is what he did initially was good for the country, in that it stabilized everything, and it just helped with the leadership. However, in the long term, it may not have been the best for the country. And here are some references.